Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of What's Happening Horse Games. This will be my fourth time recording this. I actually have another version of this What's Happening Horse Games on my channel. I'm not going to release it because while I was making this, my favorite person, Abigail Pinehaven, decided to let me know about even more stuff that's going on. So thank you, Abby. Now I have to redo the video for a fourth time. The previous two times were my fault, but that's not the point. Anyway, so let's get into the video. We actually have a lot to cover today, from new games to old news to new fiascos, but let's just dive right in. So, starting with new horse game released on the 24th of October, Horse Racing Manager. It is currently now in early access. I'm just going to let that play in the background. Horse Racing Manager is a game being developed by Sheep Meadow Road Games. It is, as the title suggests, a horse racing manager game. What I do like about the game is that you can choose and select your starting situation. So you're either going to be like down on your luck, midlife, or sort of like middle class person, or like a rich dude. I went with a rich dude because I wanted to play like Bruce Wayne. So yeah, you know, and as you can see in the trailer, it has harness racing on top of flat racing. It's really a fun game for what it is so far. I think it still has a long way to go to be something really great. But the baseline so far, not bad, especially for such a small team. I believe it's 6 people working on it. Also, I'm a sucker for pixel games, and this pixel art is particularly beautiful. It is beautiful pixel art. I'm in love with the visual. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. But a little bit more exciting news is that I am running a raffle for this game. So if you want to take part in the raffle, I have 3 Steam keys to give away. Then please just comment below HRM, as in Horse Racing Manager, HRM, and then your favorite racehorse. Now this can be from any style of racing, whether this is harness racing, flat racing, steeplechase, doesn't matter. Just comment with HRM and your favorite racehorse. And if you want to tell me a little bit about something about the racehorse, please do so. I'm always curious and I love learning about new ones. But anyway, that is Horse Racing Manager. It is now available for purchase, so if you're curious, go and pick it up and let me know what you guys think. I will be doing a video on this soon. Moving on to the next game, we have Star Equestrian. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of background, just briefly, Foxy Ventures made the game Star Equestrian. Star Equestrian is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game. Recently, they decided to release wild horses. Okay, so the wild horses that they wanted to release is not exactly what you guys are obviously thinking. They do have another game, which is Horse Riding Tales. So in Horse Riding Tales, you also have wild horses and you can catch them and then you have them, so you keep them. So everyone thought that the wild horses for Star Equestrian would have worked the same way as it did for, you know, this game, for Horse Riding Tales, but that's not what happened. Instead, you tamed it. It was a group event. Everyone tamed it, and then you would get a chance to breed with it. So you couldn't keep it. You just got a chance to breed with it. Great. So that was the first disappointment with this entire thing. But then, when it finally launched, now I watched a video from the Gamer Memoirs, and I don't really know if it's 2 sisters or if it's 2 friends, but they made a very nice video about this. I will leave a link below for you guys if you want to subscribe to them. And I thank them very much for making this video so that I can showcase today what the problem is. Because my game won't update. It is completely broken. So, like, it will not update. I have tried so many times. It just will not update. So here we have some examples of what's going on in this game. Here we have a bunch of instances of wild horses just spawning. This has become a problem because as a result of all of these horses, the game has become extremely slow and sluggish. And people can't get into the game and it keeps crashing, especially for mobile users. They're reporting a lot of lag. Now what you're seeing in the background now are the players attempting to tame a horse, but as you can see, the bar isn't going up for the horse. It's just remaining at the same spot. So this has been chaotic, to say the least. The overall experience for the wild horses has been in the gutter and people are not enjoying it. As of now, I did make sure with this, so here I asked, quick question, with the wild horses removed from the game, I don't see an announcement about it. Thanks, they didn't announce it, but as, what's your name? As Nardalis says here, They were disabled because it made the game unplayable for mobile and some PC players. Massive system message spawn and desync spawn of the horses were stuck with phantom instances too, that's chugging at the server memory currently. So they rolled back the update in order to fix the problem. But as you can see, they're still having problems. As Pixie says as well, they have been disabled for the moment as they caused massive server issues. They will return once the issues are fixed. It's interesting. It's been a wild ride, no pun intended, for the Wild Horse update for Star Equestrian. If this situation keeps going, I potentially could be making a video about it, because I think this is such an interesting situation where they made an update and it just completely crashed the game. But that is what's currently going on with Star Equestrian and their Wild Horse situation. Again, the two who made this video are Gamer Memoirs. If you want to go and subscribe to them, please do. I've already subscribed. I think this video helped me a lot, so thank you for documenting the absolute state of the wild horses in Star Equestrian. Right, so moving on to the next story, we have this update actually quite literally landed an hour ago as of making this video, and this is from Rattle Games, the Astride patch. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, like right off the bat, these two fjords are nightmare fuel. Like, anyone else? I don't know, like this just doesn't I don't know, something just doesn't look right here. So just the title of this is Breeding Update, Raise Foals and Meet the Percheron. So this is the two fjord horses. So here are, these are the foals. So here they say, breeding and foals, genetically realistic breeding, introducing foals, watch the foals grow, pure breeding, mixed breeding. So this is sort of what they have added to the game. We can see the slow growth of the foal here, which looks pretty good. I think that looks great. Then they have added cross-country courses, timer, more boards added. So we have some cross-country here, which again, it doesn't look too bad. Then they have introducing the Percheron, French Percheron, American Percheron. And now they have leading from grounds, lead foals slowly. And then they have the open of closing and doors from ground and from saddle, stable doors, box doors. So they've at least started to add some interaction. And then they have managed stable boxes, assign horse to box, rename horse, sell horse, buy randomized horses, and geld stallions. So we are at least currently seeing some forward momentum with Astride, and we have a day and night cycle. I do feel that Astride has been very slow. Unbridled is another game that's been very slow. I hope that they can maybe pick up the pace soon, but it's so difficult because this game is absolutely, it hinders completely on how much finances they are getting in order to complete the game. But yeah, I do think Astride has been dragging its feet a little. We'll have to see if they can keep up the momentum, but we'll have to see with the next update. Moving on to the next little bit of news, which is going to be on Horse Fable. Now, Horse Fable is a game that I covered some time back, a couple of months back now. I think it was in May that I covered it. And essentially the story, very simply put, was the original developer for the game had been really dragging their feet for the past 10-15 years, and a person called Curly really wanted to purchase the game and move on with it. A couple of people wanted to buy it actually and move on with the game and get it moving forward. Now, some great news is that Curly finally was able to purchase this. Now, this happened in September of this year, so I'm a little bit late with this, but I do want to sort of cover this because, as it says here, I've officially sold Horse Fable to Curly. Now, if we look at the updates so far, a lot of bug fixes, more bug fixes. They have an Autumn and Hoffa or Horse Fable, new dye recipes and bug fixes, 1 month celebration of the handover, more bug fixes. It has been, and as you can see, like, these updates are quick. It starts at the 9th of September, it's the 10th, the 12th, the 15th, the 20th, 22nd, 27th, 4th, 9th, 15th, 25th. It is just a consistent gap updates and moving forward with the game. Great to see. It is so nice to see something like this happen. Well done to Bedouin for being willing to sell it, and well done to Curly for really grabbing the reins and trying to push the game back into relevance. But yeah, that is the story for Horse Fable, so let's move on to the next story, which is going to be Legend of Khiimori. Now, Legend of Khiimori is a game that is set in Mongolia in the 13th century. It is being developed by Acer Interactive, Nighting Games, and Mindscape. The game's focus is you're playing a courier rider, you're riding from point A to point B, delivering goods to the people of the steppes. It's a very simplistic idea. I did play the demo. I'll leave a link down below for those of you who want to check out what I felt about it. The demo is available for those of you who do want to play it, who haven't yet. But what is great about Khiimori, and something that I do want to mention, the original release date for the I will say this now, for the early access was in November. And they decided, after getting feedback for the demo, that they're going to push it out to 3rd of March. I think this is great. It is so awesome for a developer to listen to the players and say, hey, yeah, we're seeing some issues and we're very sorry for, oh, not sorry, but we're willing to push it ahead and push it out, and see if we can fix the issues and give you guys the best experience into early access that we humanly can. And that's great. I just want to give them a lot of kudos for that, because that is really awesome from the developers to do that. But something I really want to point out, because this was freaking hilarious, one of my viewers showed this to me. Let me just read this comment real quick. I hate to be that person, but I just want to point out these devs allowed in their promo video a foal to be nursing on a male or stallion horse. Let that sink in. Whoever made the turntable of the different foal patterns used a stallion or male horse next to it, and the foal is animated trying to nurse on his whatchamacallit. That's crazy, Sue. Thank you so much for pointing this out. I am still cackling. Let me show you guys. This is absolutely freaking amazing. I feel so bad for the foal. He's so confused. Look at that. And for those of you who are gonna say, oh, but it's not that, you're just seeing the teats or like the udders or whatever. No. Let me show you guys. Like, no, that they actually fixed it on the YouTube. I don't know if if they just didn't notice, but here you can see it's fixed. Here you can see it. It's completely fixed. There, it is fixed. You don't see the male wujamagara. You don't see the sheath anymore. So yeah, they fixed it, but they didn't fix it entirely. They didn't see it on this one, which is funny. We're not gonna lie here, guys. We're not gonna lie. Like, it's usually the poor mare, but actually we should say poor stallion at this point. I think he's even more confused. He's like, what are you doing? But yeah, there is something for you to never unsee in the Khiimori trailer. But yeah, Legend of Khiimori, despite, you know, just somehow missing this, yeah, whoever is helping you with horse anatomy and horse behavior, I think they should probably brush up on how foals get their milk. Anyway, but good on you guys for moving it to the 3rd of March 2026. It is refreshing and wonderful to see game developers taking it on the nose, so to speak, and saying, hey, you know what? We're seeing some issues. We're gonna do the best by you guys. Just well done. I'm really looking forward to the early access. All right, so let's move on to the next story, and this one is going to be about Equitania. Now, Equitania is a game being developed by I think two people. I remember one person. The developer did take the time to show us some of the gameplay and explain a little bit how the game is going to work. Now, the way that I understand it is that you have a bunch of skills, a skill tree you can see here, and at the start of the game, all of these skills are going to be available to you so that you can get a taste of what the end game is going to be like. Okay, so this style of game play that you kind of have the experience at the start and then you later lose it and then you have to recapture it, it is something that game developers have done in the past. Need for Speed comes to mind, where you start Need for Speed Most Wanted, which came out, I believe, in 2006, 2005, and it is it's a game where you start out with the best car in the game and then you sort of fight your way up to the top in order to get your car back. And then another one that pops to mind is Prototype. And I believe Darksiders also had that, the original. So this isn't a new style of gameplay for you to start at the top, pull you back to the bottom, and then you have to work your way back up to the top again. This is something that game developers have done in the past. People sometimes like it and sometimes they don't. The biggest problem that you have with this style of gameplay is the fact that you kind of end up playing about 80 to 90% of the game handicapped, in the sense that you know what your character is supposed to be able to do, but due to gameplay and the way the progression system works, you can't really enjoy that. So you are only sort of in the last 10% of the game, you really experience what you really wanted to experience since the start. So you kind of hide gameplay away from the players, which can be extremely frustrating. Now, that isn't to say that this is the way that the game is going to work, but it is something to keep in mind for developers who want to use this style of development. Be careful for it. Make sure that we do, not very quickly, but at least quick enough that keeps it satisfying, that we reach back to the point where we can really enjoy the game. I think one solution I once saw to this is not to show you the ultimate form, but show you like a halfway point. So then you reach the halfway point and then you're like, oh wow, I can still reach further. So then it gets you excited. But that's just a thought. But I do quickly want to talk about the gameplay. I like the rhythm of it. I like the fact that it's this bow and arrow. I think that this developer seems to have managed to make the archery interesting. The sound effects and the feeling the game gives me is very unique in its flavor. I haven't seen a horse game like this. I haven't actually seen a game like this before. It looks and feels very unique and interesting. The developer further mentions like walking on water and levitation. Like, there are some interesting ideas there. So we're not seeing the full package here. What I absolutely appreciate is the courses look complicated and intricate. I don't know if this is going to be the case for all the courses, but it's interesting. I can say this for Equitania. It looks interesting and different. I highly recommend you guys watch the game playthrough and tell me what you guys think. If you think Equitania has some merit here, because I do like the idea. It's one of the reasons why I like Legend of Khiimori. It's a different setting. Despite all my issues with it, I do feel that interesting settings are really needed in horse game development right now. But yeah, that's the update for Equitania. For those of you who haven't checked it out, please check out the video that the developer put out. All support is, of course, always welcomed for small developers. So yeah, go and check that out and let me know what you guys think of Equitania. So moving on to the next story, we're going to be chatting about Equinox. Now, Equinox is an MMO game being developed by Blue Scarab Games. It was released on the 8th of May 2025, and the game has seen some ups and downs. It did have a rocky start. The early access has been very dull, very boring. And currently we all feel that this is literally just an MMO tacked onto a single player game. But they have been really working, listening to the players. They've added new voiceovers for male characters, where all the characters were voiced by female. The player characters both were voiced female. We now have male characters, which is awesome. We also have all the chapter cinematics have been added as well, which is again really great. This is something else that has been really, not great for the game. Like, they had cue cards and stuff. So they've really been, working on the visual aspect of the game. Now, for the newest update, they chat about the narrative a little bit and the fact that they are pushing for a darker story. We think it'll fall somewhere between PEGI 18 or 16. We can't promise it won't be explicit or violent. This means we don't plan on making any compromise to our narrative, cutscenes, or mechanics to make the game for a childish audience. This lets us tackle these darker, more mature subjects with the gravity they deserve, instead of conforming to family-friendly themes and language. Now, this is something that, like I said earlier with Equitania, horse games are desperate for newer ideas. And it's nice to see that Equinox is pushing for a darker narrative, because this is something that we desperately need. We need something mature for the horse gaming genre to be taken seriously. Because, let's be honest, no one, even like adventure gamers, are going to be playing horse games if they're soaked in butterflies and rainbows and shedding out hearts. It's just the way it is, right? So this could potentially pull in an audience that is not just purely horse gamers. Now, my problem I have, it's still the issue the MMO feels tacked on. They do sort of kind of address this by saying that, you know, when you're going out with your friends and you're doing fun stuff, that is just sort of the day-to-day life. But it does sort of hurt the overworld story, right? Because at the end of the day, all of our mothers are missing. None of us are unique or interesting characters. We all just have mothers that are missing. And that's sort of, like I said, it hurts the overworld narrative. But I wish the game had been single player, to be quite frank. I wish the MMO hadn't been tacked on, because I feel it is such an unnecessary thing for Equinox. It could have been such a great title, single player title in particular. But unfortunately, we're stuck with the MMO aspect. Hopefully they don't drag it out into oblivion in order to keep players buying episodes. Oh, that is a danger. I hope they don't do that, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Moving on to the next little bit of news is Potion Pony. Potion Pony is a new little horse game that is now on Steam but has not been released yet. It is being developed by Magic Kyle Games. Have you made any other games, actually? I haven't checked. No, they've only made Potion Pony. Okay, so Potion Pony is adorable. Look at that. Look at little potion, look at little pony, look at little pony. So you're collecting ingredients, you are playing as an alchemist, and you have to collect ingredients, and you have to take care of your pony, and you're traveling across the world, and I love it. It looks like a really cozy, very chill game. I'm a sucker for 2D and like pixel graphics though, so that's could just be me freaking out. But just very briefly, the story is kind of like you're traveling through the forest and you stumble upon a castle, which you're pretty damn sure wasn't there before. And then you're saddled, with the responsibilities of the missing Grand Alchemist. And you make it your mission to deliver potions to the people of Everwind while searching for the truth behind the whereabouts of your predecessor. I love it. It's such a simple idea, and I think it just looks freaking adorable. You also take care of your little pony. And what I also like about it is each city has a pony you can buy with unique attributes that allow further exploration of the world. Or you can create a strong bond with a pony, and they will take you anywhere. But what I also like is making your customers happy with delivery is just the first step. To truly restore alchemy to Everwind, you'll need to invest your hard-earned payments into your own potion shops. These will sell your creations and collect the profits while you're out exploring. Upgrade your shops to maximize their potential as you work towards recovering the Grand Alchemist's abandoned shop in the city of Hearthborn. Like potions and ponies. Like what do you want from me? I'm a sucker for 2D animation, and now we have a medieval animation 2D freaking horse game with alchemy. Like, oh my god, like this is just beautiful. I love it. Anyway, check it out. You can go and wishlist it on Steam if you haven't already, and it looks interesting to you. Please be sure to do so. Alright, so let's talk about the final story for today, which is going to be a new game being announced, Celestial Grove Shadow over Silverdale. So this is the teaser that they are making. That they made and that they're sharing. And the game is, I'm going to explain to you in a second, but this is a horse game that is being developed by a very small team without essentially a budget, and they want to create this really big game. Now, let's chat a little bit about what they are essentially planning for this game. Celestial Grove Shadow over Silverdale is a single-player 3D horse riding game blending dark fantasy, psychological horror, and mature storytelling set in 2008 before Secrets of Silverdale. Players follow Emily Bondevic's journey restoring the neglected Silverdale Equestrian Center on a mystical island. So they make clear that unlike typical horse games on saving a small ranch, here the stakes are far higher. If the corruption festering in Silverdale spreads unchecked, it will infect all of Celestial Grove, turning humans and animals into terrifying mutations and threatening the fate of the entire world. Just as in Red Dead Redemption 2, the emotional bond between rider and horse grows deeper, and frequent horse changes result in the detachment and indifference, reflecting authentic connection. Okay, so some key features is skill-based riding mechanics across disciplines like cross-country, so jumping, and equine biathlon. Expansive free-roam world with dynamic day and night cycles, seasonal weather, and immersive environments. Deep ore scare. and training, fostering unique personalities and emotional bonds, comprehensive equestrian center management, including facility renovation, budgeting, staffing, and event hosting, a mature narrative addressing serious themes respectively, designed for players craving more than a simplistic game, a combat system inspired by Withering Waves, and Metal Gear Solid, introducing strategic gameplay elements. So it's breaking the stereotype, it's aimed at everyone. It doesn't have a huge budget, so they are using store-bought placeholders. They're going to be replacing that with handmade stuff, handmade assets. Oh my gosh, my head. And then you have the alpha version highlights, which is a tutorial quest including introducing riding, care management, and story element, focus on cross-country competitions for the alpha build, horse buying, selling, training, and behavioral mechanics that reflect real emotional bonding, open world exploration with dynamic weather and day and night effects, strategic financial management, and preparing for Cavalada winter event. I have spoken about this, that when you want to make your first game, make it small. Work on, if you want to make a large game, work on, specific features or work on specific elements, practice. We have had so many great games completely disappear off the map because they were simply too much for the developer to handle. We recently spoke just in this video about Astride, and Astride has been struggling to get to the finishing post. We have had so many great games completely disappear off the map because they were simply too much for the developer to handle. We recently spoke just in this video about Astride, and Astride has been struggling to get to the finishing post. Now, Celestial Grove, Shadow over Silverdale is a game that already, I think personally, is too big for what it wants to be. It is, or from where it's coming from. They say somewhere here the game has been in development for a year, and there are 4 people working on this game. However, games have surprised us in the past, so maybe this one will as well. Let me hear your thoughts, what you think about this game. Maybe you have better opinions, more insight. It feels like a very ambitious project, and I feel like it's a dream project that many of us do want to make, and that maybe we don't always can make. But let's wait for the alpha. Maybe it'll surprise us. This has been an interesting day. Like, I was done with this video and then bam, more stuff coming up. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about everything. And if you do want to enter that raffle, remember to type in HRM and the name of your favorite racehorse. And if you have a little story about them, please share. But yeah, thank you all as always so much for watching. And yeah, have a great day, guys.